Okay, a lot of people suggesting names as to who Amir Khan should or shouldn't go with as his next trainer. Some people suggest that he should stick with Freddie Roach. Others are suggesting he should go with Emmanuel Stewart. And there are a few that are even saying come back to England and use a British coach, such as someone like Adam Booth. Well, I think the problem with Amir is not so much training him. I think his mental approach to fights, for me, is more worrying. Let's take the British Prescott fight. Let's go back in time a bit. And actually, let's go back before then. The fight he had with Gomez, the fight he had with Lim in both fights, which he was knocked down in, and he did not box to a game plan, unless the game plan was to engage and fight with both of these guys. He got backed up, he got hurt, he got dropped. And then he got knocked out by Bruce Prescott. If you watch the Bruce Prescott fight, Khan came flying out of traps in the first round against a guy who was the hardest puncher he'd ever fought in his career. The first jab that Prescott landed on Khan's chin made him do a little dance. Okay, and he backed up quickly from that jab. He should have backed up quickly from that jab and held. Instead, he decides to go toe to toe with the biggest puncher of his career, right? Knowing he doesn't have a very good chin himself, and ends up getting knocked out. Okay, at the end of the fight now, Amir turns around when being interviewed, said he made a little mistake. Now he didn't make a little mistake; it was a huge mistake. It set him back so much in terms of his plans for going to fight eventually for a world title. He ends up fighting again. The rehabilitation fights, the fight against Barrera, and the fight against what's this other guy fought. Anyway, he had these comeback fights, which for me didn't prove anything. I wanted to know what would happen when Amir got hit in the chin by somebody who could really punch. And we had the Marcus Medina fight. Everyone keeps going on about how brave he was and how strong he was, and fight of the year. But if you're an Olympic gold medalist, there's no reason why. Silver medalist. There's no reason why you should be getting into fights so like Marcus Medina, who's slow on his feet and has got slow hands. Okay, you are in a life and death struggle against someone like him, and then you're talking about you want pound for pound and you want to go and fight Floyd Mayweather, which would prove blatantly that you had gaping holes in your defence. You can't fight backing up, and although it was a toe-to-toe fight, you were badly rocked in that fight on a number of occasions. I'm lucky to hear the bell for me. And let's move forward even further. The Peterson fight, where you were getting backed up again on the inter ropes and being unable to fight off the ropes. Don't handle pressure very well. And then the Garcia fight, you telling everybody in the media that you were going to knock Garcia out. Now Garcia wasn't knocked out or wasn't hurt by Eric Morales, so what gave you the right to think that you could go out there and try and knock out Garcia? Clearly it would be a smart thing to have boxed, use distance, use your jab, you time up and throw combinations and get away. But no, you want to go toe to try and knock a guy out in the early rounds. Instead, you end up getting knocked out. So what is Khan turn around saying? We made a little mistake. No, you made a huge mistake. So the first thing here is the admitting that there's a problem. Now I don't know if Khan admits that there's a problem. I think the Medina fight may have just boosted his ego up so much that he thought that he was invincible, and clearly he wasn't, or he isn't. I'm not a Khan hater, but I just don't have a problem with the glaring mistakes he keeps making over and over and over again. And then he blames it on Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach was okay when he won against Judah. Freddie Roach was okay when he won the world title. Freddie Roach was okay all the time, and then he's now a problem because he got knocked out. No, Khan, you're the problem. Can you stick to a game plan? Can you box for 12 rounds without getting embroiled in a big fight? Okay, so the fact that you know that your chin's not the greatest in the world, the fact that you know you can't fight off the ropes, okay, the fact that anybody who puts pressure on you and can punch hard is going to knock you out. No inside game. Now for me, that leads to trouble for me. And you talk about wanting to fight Floyd Mayweather, and you talk about wanting to go up to 147 pounds. If you're getting dropped by people like Willie Lemond and Bruce Prescott and obviously Michael Gomez, right? If you're getting dropped by those guys and hurt badly by those guys and Danny Garcia, you're going to go up to £147? Really? And do what? I mean, you're not knocking guys out convincingly at you know, the division before, the light welterweight division. So you're going to go and fight in the welterweight division? I don't get it. I don't understand. And Freddie Roach, for everyone who's saying he's the greatest trainer in the world, I'm not so sure about that. You know, I don't. And on my basis of this, I don't think Manny Pacquiao, when he fights, if he fights Bradley again, I don't see the fight being any different. I don't think Pacquiao's going to fight any differently than he's fought in any of his, all the rest of his fights. I think the opposition's has gotten better in the last two fights. I think the one Manuel Marquez fight and just the Marquez fight, and also the fight he's had against Bradley are two top fighters. So I don't know. In terms of Amir Khan, he's going to go to Freddie Roach and blame Freddie Roach for it. No, you got knocked out because you got hit in the chin, and you decide to go out there instead of boxing. You decide to go and have a war with someone. So if you weren't trying to prove to the world that you can knock Garcia out, you could still be a world champion today. In fact, a unified world champion now. Instead, you're picking up the pieces once again. And how many times can you get knocked out badly like that and come back? And will Roach even want you back after you're half blaming Roach for the problem? And then you talk about Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart has had a record of consistently picking guys who have been beaten but proven quality and rehabilitating their careers and making them go on to become great world champions or good world champions. I remember when Thomas Hearns fought Dennis Andres and Hearns put a beating on Andres. Dennis Andres went under Manny Stewart and Dennis Andres was one of the best light heavyweights Britain. He was a light heavyweight? No, he's a cruiserweight, forgive me. That this country had known. But no. Is Manny Stewart going to want to take a chance with Amir Khan? The next time Amir Khan hits the deck again, who's he going to blame? Is Manny Stewart? Or whichever trainer he's with? He needs to face the facts. He needs to improve his inside game. He needs to understand how to control the centre of the ring and not be bullied. Is he physically strong enough? I mean, for all the strength and conditioning he's doing, he's still getting backed up and bullied. He got backed up and bullied by Peterson. He had a war and a situation with Medina. So I don't know if Khan's even physically strong enough. And even with the Garcia fight, in that third round with Garcia, and it started the fourth round, he started really popping Khan with body shots, and hands came down and of course got caught with the left hook around the neck. So I don't know. Personally, I think it's not a physical thing. I think it's a mental thing with Khan. I don't mean he's mad. I mean the ego. He fights with an ego, a chip in his shoulder. He wants to prove to everybody he can do everything. He can beat everybody and knock everybody out. Hence why what happened with him with Garcia fight. His father, Danny Garcia's father, said all he said to rile Amir up. And as soon as Amir said, I'm going to knock Garcia out, I'm going to knock Garcia out, I want to put money down and made a bet on the fight to know that Garcia was going to win the fight. And plus the fact that Garcia dropped Morales with that left hook, I thought, well, if any of those left hooks land on Amir's chin, or anywhere close to Amir's chin, he's going over. And of course he did go over. So, technically I'd like to see whoever Amir Khan, is Freddie Roach going to help Amir Khan's inside game? I don't think so. I think Emmanuel Stewart would be perfect in terms of teaching Khan to be able to jab and move and hold and turn guys and throw punches. That's the only way Khan's going to win again and be an effective champion if he's going to become a champion again. It's going to be a lot of grab and hold and boring stuff. But his pride won't allow him to do that. So if anybody can get him engaged in a fight, there's a chance they'll knock him out. That's what I believe now. He'll beat the fringe contenders, but anybody at elite level, Amir's going to struggle with, and Emmanuel Stewart probably knows this. So is Emmanuel Stewart really going to take a chance with Amir Khan? Whoever trains Amir Khan's got to teach him an inside game. Can he teach an old dog new tricks? I don't know. But it's definitely an ego thing with me for Amir, I think. You can give him all the tactics in the world, but as you've seen in the Breeders' Prescott fight, you've seen in the Garcia fight, tactics go out the window. You can get a guy for all you want. He can hit the bag as much as he wants. He can do as much strength and conditioning training as he wants. But at the end of the day, it's a mental game here. When you get in that ring, try and box cool and calm and relaxed. And Amir, I'm afraid to say, I don't have much faith that that's going to change. He got knocked out badly by Prescott, and you would have thought he would have learnt from that. If you go back and watch the Prescott fight, the way he got knocked out by Prescott was quite similar to the way he got knocked out by Garcia. He fell down the same way. I'm not a Khan hater. Before people start saying I'm a Khan hater, I'm not a Khan hater. I just struggle to see how he's going to be a champion of substance for over a long period of time. Yeah, he might get a version of the world title again if he's well managed, but it's only so far, so long you can well manage somebody until the fans want to see him in a top fight again. And I suspect the same things will happen again. Let me know what you think. I'm out.